Okay, all right. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of After the Narcissistic Abuse with Ella. Um, I'm recording in my living room, and it's raining, and the birds are chirping, and I'm just at peace right now. So please excuse the background noise of the birds chirping and the random car going by. But this is my second time trying to record this episode, y'all. So let's get into it. Trigger warnings. Trigger warnings. I will talk about domestic violence. I will um, probably take pauses because even though I'm at peace right now, this story is a little traumatizing. This story is called The Big Bang. Okay? The Big Bang. Or should I call it The Big Bang? Whatever. So I have notes, so I won't miss too much, but this will be broken down into several episodes, um, simply because this is a story. Okay, this is what ended it all. Um, so this will be broken down into several episodes. Okay, so my birthday is in November. Um, and I think I spoke about that. And I mentioned Elle and Peggy, I think in episode 2. And if you didn't listen to that, go back, do that now. The episode basically states how both Al and Peggy lied and how Al ruined my birthday. And, we're driving up to the Big Bang. So my birthday is in November. In December, I wasn't feeling too great, too wonderful. Um, my body was off. So I was like, okay, it could be stress, it could be something, it could be whatever. Um, so I took like a little pregnancy test just because everything else X'd out. That was the only thing left. And it was like faint positive. I was like, okay, cool. I'll make me a little doctor's appointment because I know I'm losing my mind. So I make a doctor's appointment, another little faint thing going on. Um, and I was like, they're like, well, basically you're pregnant. And I was like, basically, I want a blood test. So I go to the lab, I get the blood test. They like, we'll call you in a few days, or no. They asked if I wanted to come back in for results, or if I they could call me. And I was like, no, you can just call me because I didn't want to keep missing time from work. But that's how my brain works when I'm stressed out. I have to keep myself busy or I'll lose it. But on December 20, I'm sorry, I'm fast forwarding through everything. My bad. Let me look at my notes. I talked to him, Al, about it. And his first response to me was, get an abortion. You got to get rid of it. I got so upset in that moment simply because um, over the summer, this man kept pushing like, oh no, we should have a baby. I want to give you a baby. Like we should have a baby. Like this is what we should do. So over the summer, like he's pushing, pushing, pushing. But now that he has his new supply, he's like, oh no, go to the chop shop. And to me, it was messed up. Um, but in that moment, I was just like, okay, well, if that's what you want me to do, that's what I'll do. Go back and forth with a couple of people that I trusted with this information, and then I decided like I was back and forth. I was like, one, I'm too old for this. Two, like, why should he dictate what I do with my body? Because he wants to be a hoe. Like, why? Like, what is ugh, right? So I basically tell him like, nah, I'm not doing it. So at that point in time, his thing was to continuously piss me off, like stress me out. And we went back and forth. I said some things that wasn't nice to him. And oh my God, like he holds that against me to to the roof of the heavens. Like he's like, you said bad things to me. Okay, I said bad things to you, sir, but you've done bad things to me anyway. Classic narcissism. But we both said things and it wasn't, nice or whatever, but he's basically like, "Oh, I'm ruining his life. I'm ruining his life if I choose to keep this child." And you know, um, I was like, "We don't even know what the blood test is going to say when it come back. Like, like just leave me alone." So on the 22nd of December, it was confirmed, and that's when shit went from bad to I cannot believe it's not butter, horrible. And he basically was saying if I kept the baby, I would be ruining his life, and his mom, his fucking mother, would stop talking to him because she don't like me. And I was like, that's crazy because I didn't sleep with your mom. That's cool. That's fine. Okay. Um, like he turned into the devil so quickly. Like between him and my daughter, like he went to telling my daughter that he and I were only friends. It wasn't nothing more than that. Mind you, he was the one who on several occasions told his my daughter himself that he and I were dating. Like it was his words to my child that we were working on things. Okay. But because the sun rose one day and he changed his mind, everything he said to her was now bullshit, and now he don't remember what came out of his own mouth. Okay. So he went from calling my daughter, he goes from excuse me, calling my daughter our daughter to back to, oh, she's your daughter. Like it was night and day. Like I went through so much mentally and emotionally. I honestly don't know how I was still going to work, how I was still being a mom. I don't know how. My legs just kept going, right? Um, so it got so bad. I did agree to having abortion. I did. I was just like, I can't do parenting with somebody like him. I, okay, I'll talk about that in another. But I can't. Um, because look how he's acting now. I wouldn't even want him involved. Blah blah blah. So um, I ended up spotting one night, and I texted him like, "Oh my god, I'm spotting." It was this weird color too, right? And I know TMI, my bad, but whatever. So I texted him and I was like, "Hey, this is going on. I'm scared. I'm going to go to the hospital." So I go, and um, because I was nervous of miscarrying, like because it's happened before with him. So this is not the first time I've been pregnant by him, but the last time I miscarried, and yeah, I even asked him at that point, like, can you please stop stressing me out? He didn't. Anyway, so we so I go to the ER, and uh everything's fine. They're like, oh, it's just, it's nothing, it's normal, like you're fine. The, the babies are fine. I don't know if y'all picked up the S. I found out that it wasn't just one bean, it was two beans. And at that point, no chop shop. I'm not getting rid of two beans, two babies, for him to be a hoe, for him to be a fuck boy. Like it's not gonna happen. Not at my big age. Not no. It ain't not on my big age. No, not. Mm-mm. Find the next one. So at this time, I text him. I'm like, can you come over? He comes over. I basically tell him like, with the wristband on my arm, like still on my arm, right? I want y'all to pay attention. Wristband still on my arm. Okay. Yeah. I'm pregnant with twins. I'm not getting an abortion. He's like, oh, I kind of figured that's what you wanted to talk to me about. Not the swim part, but not getting an abortion. All right, cool. So he's like, did you need anything else from me? And I was like, nope. So he rolls out. Okay. He leaves. All right. He done went and talked to Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. And Ronnie, Bobby, and Ricky. Now, ooh, child. I'm sorry. This is when shit gets crazy. Crazier. Because I feel like I'm rushing through this. So let me slow down my talking. Uh, all of a sudden, he's like, yeah, you might be pregnant, but I need to see paperwork. When he said it to, I want to make sure everything's okay. Um, I want to make sure that you're good, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, okay, no problem. You can see the paperwork. And I believe it was either that same evening or that next day he was talking and he made it slip. And he let it slip. And he basically told me that he talked to his new supply and his homeboy, and both of them said that he should ask me for paperwork because it's kind of funny how me and him wasn't dealing with each other and I pop up pregnant. Bitch, what? So you're fine. You were okay. You knew. You knew the new. You know the no, right? But because Tweedledee and Tweedledum said something, now so I have to prove to them that I'm pregnant. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. Because I didn't sleep with them. I didn't lay down with them. I ew. Okay? Even like ew. No. I'm not no. So he comes over here one time and he does something with my daughter. I was busy. And he's like, you want to show me the paperwork? I was like, mm-hmm. But I kept on doing what I was doing because at that point it wasn't important to me. You lied again, acting like you had my best interest at heart, but you're full of shit. So I go back to doing what I was doing in my bedroom. Next thing you know, my daughter's knocking on the door saying he left. Okay, whatever. So he said he left because he asked for the paperwork and I didn't give it to him. And he feels funny being in my apartment. Now all of a sudden you feel funny being in my apartment when you used to walk through the damn door every day, not even an entire month ago. You were still walking through my door damn near every day. Okay. So New Year's Eve, he and I get into it. Because he's like, Um, I'm usually the type of person who keep my word, and I said I was going to get the abortion, and his mom was going to stop talking to him. His son wouldn't like him, and his baby mother would. She would probably take him for more child support and not let. It was a whole bunch of bullshit. Okay. Um, and I was like, I don't care. Like it. Okay, I don't care. And I find it mighty funny how um just in October, you were still talking about October, beginning of November, you were still talking about let's have a baby. Babies are here now. They're coming. They're implanted. Okay. And now it's your life will be ruined. Boy. Jesus. So um he pissed me off so bad I did reach out to his new supply. And she and I exchanged some words because I was like, y'all are crazy if y'all expect me to kill two kids so y'all can walk around and have fun and act like y'all didn't come in and destroy lives. Like that's you're fucking crazy. And she, big ass text messages, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I didn't tell you to text my phone and blah, blah, blah. No, you didn't. Oh, she said, I can't judge somebody I don't know. And I said, you're right. I cannot judge somebody that I don't know, but I can say that I talked to you about your status with him and you lied and you told me he wasn't in alignment with what you were dealing with, where you were trying to go, et cetera, et cetera. And that same week, you was laid up in a hotel room with him. Like, yeah, no, you're lying there. So, okay. So anyway, if y'all want to hear that story, I mean, circle back to that one episode I mentioned earlier. But that was that, and I ended up blocking her. And then I found out. Side note, I found out that you can go. I have an Android. You can go under a certain thing, and you can find all of your blocked text messages, all the text messages that you blocked. You can, and homegirl had some shit to say. I laughed at it, but I'm glad I did not see it that day. Okay, I'm just praise the Lord. Okay, everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. Praise the Lord. Okay, so um, fast forward to January 2nd. Um, he and I are texting on Facebook Messenger because he's blocked on my phone. I'm blocked on his phone. Um, and he's like, well, what are you trying to do? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't need you. Like, the long and the short of that conversation was, I'm going to do what I have to do to take care of my kids. I don't need you around. Were you trying to have kids out here that are mine and you're not going to let me? No, I don't. Because you told me several times over you don't want these kids. And everybody who knows me, if you're saying something like that about children that aren't even here or children who can't defend themselves or something like that, I automatically don't want you around them children because I don't trust you. I don't trust what you would do around them kids. I watch too many true crime stories. Too many true crime stories. And I watch the news. People are crazy. Okay? This man had no chance in hell of being around these kids. No chance in hell. No chance in hell. None. So so I, after these long text messages or whatever, and I even threw a few jokes in there like, oh, I might ask you to watch the kids while I go on vacation or so. Like, yeah, right. No, I wouldn't. Um, but at the end of it, I literally said, like, I release you. Like, I'm done. I don't want you around to take care of these kids. I can do this on my own. And have a good life. Be blessed. Peace and blessings. And I think that did something to him because when he met me, I was a single mom of two. I was taking care of my kids. I was taking care of myself. I had my own everything already. I didn't need a man to raise my kids. And I think he knew, like, I was dead ass serious. Like, my daughter's biological father is alive and well, and was out here doing whatever he wanted to do. I didn't go after that man. I didn't take that man for child support. It was like, leave me alone. That was the best thing he could do. Just leave me alone and leave my daughter alone because of the choices he made. So now he was probably thinking like, well, then because of homeboy's choices, she like this is the way Ella is. Like, yeah, that is. Um, so I don't know if that triggered him or what. I was like, have a good night. I went to sleep because I made my mind up at that point in time, like, it's go time. I can't be stressed out. I need to start stacking my coins. These are twins we're talking about here. We're talking about like over a grand a month in daycare. Long look, that's how I think. So the third comes, and I wake up, and I look outside, and I was like, not going to work. Text my boss like I'm working um, from home. It's snowing. I'm not driving in the snow. She was like, cool. So not too long after that, I get a message from him um, saying, "Oh, it's snow outside. Be careful. Going to work." Okay, so yeah, about the. I told him I wasn't going to work, so I did get up around 8 o'clock, go downstairs because I'm like, let me clean the car off. I'll clean it off, and then it keeps snowing. It won't be that bad. Normal thinking. So I'm outside to clean the car off. I hear my Facebook Messenger going off, but I think I'm losing it. And then it rings, and I'm assuming it's my sister because my sister gets up early too, and I figured she was trying to see like if she honestly she's the only one who calls me that early on Facebook Messenger. Okay, so she's probably calling to see if I'm going to work or if I'm careful or whatever, or what's going on with Vera. So I look and it's him. So I answered it, and I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, did you go to work? Now that I think about it, that should have been a red flag because I already told him I wasn't going to work. Anyway, and I was like, no, I'm cleaning the car off. And he's like, oh, I'm out front. Can you let me in? And I was like, no. And then he said, well, since you're out back, because I park out back so I can see the car. So he's like, since you're out back, I'm just going to come around there. And I was like, okay. So the phone goes silent. I don't hear any movement. I don't hear his truck turning on. You know, Fords are very distinctive when you turn them on. I don't hear nothing. Okay, so I'm like, hello? He's like, yeah. I said, you're still standing out front? And he said, yeah. I said, all right, well, let me turn the car off. I'm coming. So I turn the car off and I go in the building and I open the door and I'm like, what's up? He's like, oh, I just want to talk. I was like, okay, cool. So I'm walking up the steps. He's not saying nothing. I'm not saying nothing. We come into the apartment. He sits on my sofa. I sit on my love seat. And I was like, look, because I know we were beefing the night before. And I was like, look, Vera is home. I'm not trying to do no arguing and stuff in front of her. Um, this is just not gonna happen. He says, oh, no, I ain't come over here for none of that. I'll leave before I argue with you. I'll leave before I start fussing with you. And I was like, all right, cool. So I'm sitting there, hands cold, because I'm out there cleaning off cars. He says, we've been best friends. We've been together for Um, 8 years and almost 8 years, and we done been through a lot together. You always been supportive. You helped me get my business together. We've been best friends. And I'm like, okay. And he was like, and what's going on between us right now is just crazy. And I was like, yeah, you're right. It is crazy. Because, okay, so before all of this, before he was just an outward hoe, like he and I never argued. We could sit and we could talk about things, but we never argued. Like that wasn't our thing to do. And so yeah, I agreed. Like this shit is crazy. So um he like rubs his hands together and he looks me square in my eye and he goes, so show me the fucking paperwork. And I tilted my head and I got up and I was like, no. And I got up and I went in my kitchen because I was thirsty. Okay. Um, so when I was coming out of my kitchen, I have like a little wall area, little breakfast bar area. So I'm walking and I walk out of my kitchen and I'm by the little breakfast bar area and he's walking aggressively. So I threw both of my hands up. Well, I'm sorry, he's walking aggressively towards me. So I threw both of my hands up and I was like, don't walk up on me like that. And the next thing you know, my body is against the breakfast bar. And he done charged into my bedroom. The initial shock of him pushing me up against the breakfast bar was like, what the just happened? So I turned around and I go towards my bedroom, kind of still like, did he really just shove me into a breakfast bar? Like, did he just lose his mind? Mind y'all, my daughter's bedroom is open. Her bedroom door is open. So I go into my bedroom and me and him, we are arguing back and forth. He's trashing my room. And he's like, where's the fucking paperwork? I know you got the fucking paperwork in here. Now you see what I'm saying? Like he knew the paperwork was in here. So what the fuck is all of this for? So when I say like I'm grabbing stuff and he done threw me against a couple of walls, he done threw me against the dresser. Like I'm being tossed around my room like a rag doll. All I have is my right hand because I'm using my left arm to kind of shield my stomach. So we're standing in front of my bedroom door. He's yelling and he's going off about this paperwork. My daughter's door. Hold on. My daughter's bedroom door. When she comes out, she can see directly into my bedroom, but she can't see my bed. So our doors are like right in front of each other with the space in between. I can't get the right word together right now. And she's standing there, she's screaming, like, y'all stop, please stop. And I'm like, L, get the fuck out my house. Get the fuck out my house. Leave. Like, you're not welcome here. Get the fuck out of my house. You gotta go. So he's like, I'm not going nowhere till you show me the fucking paperwork. I'm not going nowhere till you show me the fucking paperwork. I'm sorry, y'all. This is when all the cussing starts. So I'm like, no, I'm not showing you shit. My daughter's crying. Vera's crying. She's asking us to stop. Like, do you hear her? Do you hear her? Do you listen to Vera? Listen to Vera. This man looked me square in my eyes and was like, I don't give a fuck about Vera. I don't give a fuck about Vera. Vera's standing right there hearing everything. Show me the fucking paperwork. Like when I say is millimeters between his face and mine. And I'm like, Vera, go find my phone. He takes his phone out of his pocket and he tosses it on the bed. And he's like, call the cops, call the cops. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna go to jail. I'm gonna go to jail. And they gonna make you show me the paperwork. They not gonna make me do shit. You done came into my house and attacked me in front of my child. You're going to jail. Do you think they're gonna say, oh, you know what? You deserve to get your ass beat. Um, man, you should have just showed me goddamn paperwork. What the fuck is wrong with him? So she brings me my phone and she runs off and I call 911. So as soon as I start giving my address out, he leaves out my bedroom, comes in here, starts because I'm in the living room. He comes in the living room and he starts putting his shoes on, and I'm like, okay, 911 lady, never mind, y'all don't have to come. He's leaving. Dumb move on my end. He's leaving, and the operator is like, "Are you sure you don't need us to come out there?" I said, "No, because he's putting his shoes on. He's about to leave." Soon as I hung up that phone, y'all, soon as I hung up that phone, that man charged me and tackled me into my dining room table. I still remember the pain that went through my body when I hit that table. He charged me. Now, mind you, Al, the reason I call him Al is because he played football in high school. He played, you know what I'm saying? So this man is a big dude. I'm not no skinny woman myself, but he's a big dude. And the reason he's like, no, he's a big dude because he eat. But he played sports. His most of his life he played sports. So so he rushed me like I was a nigga. Oh shoot, can I say that word? Like I was a man. He rushed me like I was a man. So when I got my bearings together, I go back because he's in my bedroom. I go back in my bedroom. He literally takes me. I have a tote in a box over top of the tote. He literally took me and shoved me right over top of the tote in the box, and I went down. Um, Here I go calling 911 again, and he's like, he goes to leave. Okay, so he leave. I'm on the phone with the 911 operator, and I'm like, I just called. I'm giving my address again. Like he's assaulted me again. He won't leave my house. Blah blah blah. So he's putting his getting his shoe or something on, and he looks me in my eye and he says, "I'm gonna make the rest of your life a living hell." And I was like, "Are you threatening me?" And he was like, "You heard what I said. You heard what I said." And he leaves out the door. Like I did not get off the phone this time. He leaves out the door, and I lock it, and I listen to see if I hear the front door downstairs open and close. So when I did that, I opened the door. When I heard that, I opened the door, and I seen him pull off, and the 911 operator. I was like, no, he left. I called his friend, and I was like, this nigga, God darn it, this man just came in my house and physically attacked me. Like, what is wrong with him? He's talking about he's not scared to go to jail, all over paperwork. And his friend says, well, Ella, it's 2022. All you had to do was show the man the paperwork, blah, blah, blah. And I explained to his friend, like, look, I don't have to show him shit to prove to y'all that I'm pregnant. Like, it's not gonna happen. I said, not to mention, I told told that man that he ain't have to have anything to do with these kids and to leave me alone. And he was like, wait, you told him that? Oh, so now everything's different because I told him that I didn't meet him. Well, I ain't know you told him that, but let me call him to see what's going on. Okay, whatever. I call my cousin. No, I'm sorry. I go and I deal with Vera. Vera is clearly visibly upset. Um, and I'm consoling her and I'm telling her it's okay. She's like, uh, she was scared. She didn't want to stay here anymore. She was scared he was going to come back and do harm. Um, she couldn't believe that he said those bad things about her. She can't believe that she seen him put his hands on me. She can't. So I'm going through all of this, and I calm her down, and I call my cousin, and I'm talking to my cousin because I had called her in the midst of all of this. I called her when we were in the living room at some point, and look, I don't know. That part is a little fuzzy. I ain't even gonna lie. So I call her and I'm talking to her. Um, Meanwhile, he starts calling me on Facebook Messenger, right? He's like, I'm not coming. I will not be back. And I'm like, you physically assaulted me, scared the shit out of Vera. You can burn in hell. And do you know what this man had? His response was, I just crashed my truck. I just crashed my truck. I'm going to leave this story here. I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to stop right here because I feel like I've been talking for a long time. And um, this is a whole story, y'all. So I feel like I've been talking a long time, and I don't want these episodes to be too long. And I'm trying to like whew, keep my peace. So hopefully this recorded right this time because this is the second time I had to tell this story. And yeah, I'll talk to y'all soon because I think this is going to be like a four-parter, 3 or 4 parts, 3 or 4, at least three. Per my outline, at least three. So do something to make y'all happy. Stand in your power. Love yourself. And what's not for you is not for you, and it's okay. It's fine. Healing takes time, and allow yourself the grace and the patience to heal correctly. I will talk to y'all soon.